Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast to the protection against heavy rain and flooding, by Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe.
Yeah, hello again. Today with a very short trailer. This is part 2 when heavy rains meet your company, and I'm explaining a solution how to protect a hotel from the destruction caused by floods and heavy rains. Yeah, whether a business owner or an employee, heavy rainfall makes no difference. That's what I talked about last time. And my example is a 1A Express hotel in Mindanao, the south of the Philippines, in Cagayan de Oro. A freshly renovated hotel, money from the owner, and the owner suffered from a previous typhoon hitting the country in December 2011. That was a typhoon Sendong, and then 2018 a super typhoon Ompong, international name was Mangkhut, was hitting the country again, and the hotel was flooded and it was totally renovated, and now the challenge is, what to do? Because the owner was really afraid that it could happen again. And we all know that climate change is getting worse and worse, and the average temperatures in the oceans are rising. That means more water will evaporate. The air is warmer as well. We have seen that in Europe this year. And can be saturated with more vapor. That means this vapor must leave the air sooner or later, and that will be done through rainfall. So we will see more rain, and it will be more intense. And unfortunately, there is another effect that has to do with the jet stream and the winds in general. Let me explain it this way. This bad weather is not moving that fast quite often. And at this moment, you have a bad weather situation above you. That means where you are. And it's raining and raining and raining. And that is like you want to fill your bathtub, and you don't close the faucet. That means sooner or later it will overflow. And that is the same with our soil. Sooner or later, the soil, the grassland is saturated with water and cannot carry any water load anymore. And at this moment, floods can be observed in the streets. That is one very short and easy explanation, but that is what will happen. And this hotel owner in Mindanao was very afraid about that and very aware. And the owner has put a lot of money in this hotel, and it is not a 5-star hotel. I think I mentioned last time it's about 30-40 room hotel, but nevertheless the money was invested, and now we have to protect the hotel. So, and this time I want to tell you about the solutions. So what can be done? Because the challenge is one thing. The challenge is, not because. Let's say it this way. What is the main question? The main question is, what shall I protect? And in this case, there were many constructional work that have been done before, and one particular entrance left. And this entrance was already elevated, so they elevated everything in a way. But they could not close it with a wall, and they could not put more stairs, because you must have one way for people with disabilities, people in a wheelchair, for instance. And of course, you also need a kind of ramp when you arrive with heavy luggage. So what to do with such an entrance? And the answer is quite simple. In this case, the 1A Express hotel manager was calling the flood experts, and then after a very short discussion, and after having sent us the photos, the solution was clear. They put demountable flood barriers just in between this entrance, and the entrance was about, I think, 1.50 meters or something like that. So it was not really a huge entrance, and small enough. I mentioned already they did some constructional work, but it must be done. So the decision was relatively fast, and the protection height was about 1 meter, I think 1 meter 20. And so also nothing special. I always say it is special when you go beyond 3 meters. I always see the 3 meter wall in our Asian headquarters in the Philippines. So if ever you are around at this place, knock at our door or give us a phone call first. So then we can show you the 3 meter wall. It's really impressive. However, these demountable flood barriers can be installed up to 4 meter 50. 4 meter 50. 4 meter 30 was the highest ever installed barrier height in Canada at Flood Control Canada, and 450 is the highest. And then if it is above, then I always tell the people better leave your place, because that becomes very difficult to protect. However, in this case, we were talking about 1 meter 20, and that is a very easy solution. So what has to be done? There are 2 side channels. Yeah, you must install a side channel at the left and at the right side, and then you insert these barriers depending on the height. So there are demountable flood barriers is 100 millimeter height, 150, 200, 300. So different types are available on the market. And in our case, we were using 300 millimeters and very stiff and certified barriers that the customer could be really sure that in case of a need, they will do the job and there is no leak. There's no leakage, and they will also withstand floating debris. There's always floating debris in the street. When you see these pictures from television in the news after a flooding event, you can always see all these brushes and debris and strange things that are floating and swimming. And sometimes it's not swimming; it is like a cannonball. How these elements are moved, and when they hit these barriers, the barriers should still withstand the force and, of course, do the job. And that is why it is very important to make the right selection and that you choose the right barriers. So in this case, the owner was choosing these demountable flood barriers. So the side channels, for all those who don't know exactly what it is, the side channels are attached at the left and at the right side, and they remain at the building. And before one of the architects who is listening now and telling, "Oh, you destroy my building, my beautiful facade, and that is not good looking," I tell you first, you can powder coat these side channels, and you can have it in every available RAL color. So these RAL colors, RAL, are available in every color. So that is possible. That is number one. You can cover the open area where you insert the barriers. The slot, you can cover it with cover plates. They can also be powder coated. And if you don't like this idea, you can integrate the side channels into the wall, as long as your wall of the building is thick enough. That is what we have done at many places in the world. And the advantage is that you don't have sharp edges. By the way, our side channels do not have any sharp edges. There are some products in the market they have, and especially at the hotel, of course, it is important that the guests will not get in danger. They don't imagine there is a guest coming with a beautiful suitcase, and then you just hit you hit the side channel with your beautiful dress, and you demolish it, you damage it. First, you as a hotel manager, you have to pay the damage, and a new dress, a new suitcase perhaps, and then you can be sure that in social media the people will not report very positive about you. So in this case, these side channels, ours, they don't have, but you can also integrate them into the wall as well. So that is a very easy solution. These side channels remain, and you cover them. You can also close this gap if you integrate them in the wall with some doors, and there are so many possibilities. But these are already technical solutions. That is not what you should think about, because the most important thing is first how to protect it with what type of barrier. And that was one small hotel, this One Express Hotel in Mindanao, a beautiful hotel. But what if the hotel is having more entrances? Let's take 67 entrances. I know this very, very huge hotel. It's also located in the Philippines, a 5-star hotel with a huge casino. They have 5 basement parkings. And I know it that good because we made a report about it. And, when you have 67 entrances, the hotel manager might ask for the cheapest solution. And the cheapest solution, yes, are the mount with flood barriers. However, ask yourself, when it is in the middle of the night, at 2 o'clock, everybody is sleeping. The general manager is at home. The other managers also are at home. Only the night shift manager is on duty. And suddenly the bad weather is coming. It's raining already, and suddenly the streets are underwater, and the hotel is getting under danger. So you want to install the barrier. So what do? You have to protect 67 entrances, perhaps with let's say always with 3 barriers only. That means let's say 67, let's say 70 entrances, three barriers, that makes 210 elements. Who shall do that? I remember this huge hotel, I don't mention the name now, of course, that has the length of the main front is 400 meters. It's like a square, 400 meters, 400 meters, 400 meters, 400 meters. 1.6 kilometers is a perimeter. My business partner got sunburned when we were walking around this hotel during daytime. I remember that was not funny. And the problem is that you cannot install these barriers in such a short time. So that means the selection of what kind of barrier type you take is always also a question of money, yes, of budget, but of feasibility. So who is able to close these doors within the given time, and perhaps in the middle of the night and during your operation? And now comes the next. You should not hamper your operation too much. In case of a hotel, of course, it is not advisable to close the main entrance first. Then nobody can get in, nobody can get out. And we are not talking about that you have 1 meter of floods in the street yet, because at this moment, of course, nobody will come anymore, and nobody wants to get out of a hotel. So it's always a kind of mixture between different types of barriers. So portable barriers, doors and gates, automatic systems, and you should make sure that the operation is possible until the last moment. What is possible, and what the several hotels and companies are doing, is that they prepare already when the weather report is announcing the bad weather some days before. So you must not do that on Monday when the typhoon will hit you on Thursday. That doesn't make sense. So you can do that on Wednesday, for instance, on the morning hours of the Thursday. If the typhoon shall hit your place in the late afternoon, then there is time enough. But you can already prepare, let me say, half of the basement parkings. You can already protect the side entrances. You can already protect the delivery area. You close simply half of the lanes and you keep open the other half. The only thing what you need is a guard who is directing the traffic. That means the cars getting in and getting out. But that is relatively easy to organize, and that is not a big challenge. And then you close the entrances step by step. From a certain time onwards, you close the delivery area. You, of course, close your wellness area. You have already protected the generators. That's the first thing what you should do, by the way. So, and that is much faster. You can do it in a much faster way if you choose a mixture between portable barriers, these demountable flood barriers, for instance, doors and gates, and automatic systems. And that will keep your business ongoing and running until the last minute. And that will make sure that your hotel at the end is protected. Protected like the 1A Express Hotel in Mindanao. And with a good maintenance, I always say such barriers are good for 100 years. So I hope that you will not be in such a situation first, but if ever you have to think about it, think about a good mixture of different types of barriers, and don't wonder if you come to a hotel and they don't let you in at your preferred lane of the basement parking because of an approaching typhoon. Then the hotel has a good reason why they already close one entrance. Just take the other one and be happy that they think about to protect your car in the basement parking area, because also your car will be protected. I wish and hope for you that you make the right decisions when it comes to your personal flood protection. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast channel if you haven't already. Now it only remains for me to wish you a good day. Do something with it. Maybe until the next podcast episode. I would be very happy. See you then. As always, stay safe and flood free. Your Andreas Klippe and the whole Flood Experts team.
That's it again with the new episode of Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe, German engineer, book author, and head of the Flood Experts. What can Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe protect for you? Anytime? Worldwide? Contact us or just click through to www.thefloodexperts.de/bonus. Detailed engineering, German quality, safe. Flood protection secrets. The secrets you'll want to unfold.
Don't forget, you're only one flood barrier away.
Subscribe to the season, and you'll never be late for an episode.